Hey guys, Eric at SideQuest Comics, and today I have a video that's basically it's an out and about, but it is also a catch-up video. So it's out and about at a local store that I visited just this past week, and it's also a catch-up for some mail calls. So kind of appropriate since it's Monday, it's mail call Monday. But yeah, I have a couple boxes here that I want to dive into that I've actually had for a little bit. And I visited a local store and got a kind of pretty cool haul that I wanted to show off. So I decided to just combine it all together and make a video out of it because yeah, like these two boxes that I had sitting here from Cheddar Comics, I was just kind of trying to figure out what to do with them. I haven't even opened one of the boxes yet, So the other one I kind of peeked in, but I haven't done anything with it either yet. So that's what we got planned for today. So I'm going to jump right into the first thing that I showed off was this bag. So it's a bag of, if you can't tell inside, it's some figures. I got some comics too. I was off for a couple days beginning of this past week. I had some doctor's appointments and trying to get stuff done around the house for Halloween. And actually, I went to a place I haven't been to in a while. It's called the Geek Toy Hut in Arlington Heights, Illinois. That's just south of me, kind of in the suburbs over down by O'Hare Airport, actually. I'll put a link down below. I think they have a Facebook page. I'm going to see if they have a website. But you can Google them. They have, you can find them on Google and see what they are. It's a store, and I'll pop up some images too, guys. It's basically a store that they specialize in reselling old, action figures, toy lines. They do Funko Pops. They do have comics, and they have like trading cards like your Pokemon and Magic and stuff like that. So basically anything that could be considered geek, they have. So I've gone there before and raided their comic bins. They've had a pretty good collection. Now, they did recently do a lot of remodeling in the store. They put in some new glass cabinets to hold a lot of their figure lines and stuff, which was really cool to see. It's like, especially like with they had so many Transformers before, so to have it organized how they have now is really cool to see them, and even all the comic book figures too that they have, and G.I. Joe and Masters of the Universe, all that kind of stuff. So I went down there to check them out because, like I said, I haven't been there in a long time, and just see what there was to see. And I found some cool stuff. So I'm going to jump into what I found, enough to fill a bag here. So I'm going to start with the figures, actually. Now, if you guys know me, you've been watching my channel for a while, and you can tell just behind me, some of the figures I like collecting are Aquaman, Batgirl, Supergirl, Doctor Doom, Wolverine, that kind of stuff. And I've been kind of starting to get some G.I. Joe. But I went there because I really wanted to see particular things. I was looking for He-Man because I did recently just get Trapjaw. I don't even think I showed him off. I did recently get an original Trapjaw to go with some of my line. I used to have him, but the thing is, I never saw him with all his tools and his attachments. So that's kind of why I got him. So I want to go down there and see if they had any of the other original line, like, Merman and Beastman. And I'm pretty sure if I saw He-Man or Skeletor, they're going to be pricey, but I just wanted to see what they had. So went down there, and I'm going to start with the loose figures. So they do have like in box still, and then they have a lot of loose ones. And I like loose ones. I don't mind because then I can display them. Now, this goes with the Masters of the Universe line, and I did get, besides Trapjaw, I got, and you can see him here, Fisto. I got him at the Fan Expo in Chicago back in August. Well, they had a newer line, and I couldn't help myself, guys. So I got the newer version of Fisto, and of course, this is how he was posed in the case. And he was only like $10. So I'm not a big fan of the new line so much because the figures are very different. They're cool, but they're very different from the nostalgia of the originals. But I had to get him to go with the original. So I'm laughing already just seeing them. So now I got, the original, and I got the newer updated version of him. I like the newer updated version. He's kind of cool looking. And he's still got the big fist. So that's one of the things I got. Like I said, it was just $10. So I got the new version of Fisto. And I may end up going back because they had some pretty cool Masters in the Universe stuff there. And then also the other loose one I got is a Supergirl. I don't have too many. I have like a zombie version, and I have like this little just statuette. It's not really a figure, it's more of a statue. But they had this one. So it's kind of an old school classic Supergirl. And I think this might have been part of a box set of Superman. It's like kind of like her first appearance type of thing. And I was kind of like, that's kind of cool to have an original Supergirl. They don't make a whole lot of them. So, I thought this would be good for the collection. It's different. But yeah, it's old school Supergirl. She's got like her 50s hairdo. Hopefully this is focusing. It doesn't look like it's focusing very good. But yeah, had to get that one. And then there's a couple other loose ones that I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll come back later. Maybe I won't wait so long this time. Now, going on to box figures. So they did have box figures. And like I said, one of the things I wanted to go also down there besides He-Man and stuff is Aquaman. I'm a big Aquaman collector. And I figure if I'm going to see something that I don't normally see, I'm going to see it there. And I mean, I saw some of the other ones that are on my list I want to get. But they had this line. It's called, it's from Justice, which was a comic series Alex Ross worked on. And this is a figure that they had based on that line. So I got an Aquaman based on the Justice. So hopefully the glare is not too bad. You can see he's kind of old school, Aquaman. He's kind of burly. That's the way Alex Ross likes making these guys. He's got the shiny pants, which is kind of funny. Here's the side of the box. You can see some of the other characters. But yeah, I thought it was I've never seen this one. So of course, this was the one that I wanted to get. It's designed by Alex Ross. Kind of I'd love to find this Bizarro. That'd be cool. But so I got this one. It was like $20, which wasn't too bad. But to go along with that Aquaman, they also had this one. And this one was $10. So I thought that was a pretty good deal for an Alex Ross version of Black Manta, his arch enemy. So I had to kind of get that. Well, one of his arch enemies, Ocean Master, is I think a little bit closer of an arch enemy. But yeah, I thought this was kind of neat. I mean, I think I only have one other Black Manta. So maybe Black Manta. Well, no, you know what? I think I have another one from McFarlane. So this might be my third one then. So, yeah, I guess I think I'm committed now. If I'm getting Aquaman, I guess I'm getting Black Manta too now. All right. So that was the superheroes. So the other thing, and I've been looking for this character for a long time, and they had kind of a deluxe box of him that comes with like a sidekick type of thing. But it's this one. It is Snake Eyes. So this is from the newest G.I. Joe classified series. And you see he's their second one they released. How much did I pay for him? Like $20, $22, which isn't bad. I think these retailed for about $25, $26. And him being the second one they made, I think that's a pretty good deal. Now, why did I want to get Snake Eyes? Well, it's nostalgia. He was one of my favorite characters growing up. And if you can't see him in the back here, I already have Storm Shadow. So I really wanted him to go with Storm Shadow to kind of make a set, I mean, I also want to I have Zartan, which he's behind me too. I want to get the rest of, Zartan's cronies. And I kind of want to get those originals, Destro, Baroness, Cobra Commander, probably Duke, Scarlet, some of those original G.I. Joe characters that came out in the toy line. The ones that I was very fond of growing up. So that was pretty cool to find him. Like I said, I've been trying to find him for a while. and I had a hard time tracking them down. That was a reasonable price. A lot of times I was finding him, he was like about $30, $35. Or, like I said, they had him in a box set where he came with Timber, his wolf, which I really, really debated about because I know that outfit's a little bit different than this one because they made a couple different original figures of him and they always change his outfit a little bit. So, very happy to find Snake Eyes finally and add him to the collection. But okay, guys, so that was action figures and toys that I found at the Geek Toy Hunt. Like I mentioned earlier, they do have comics and trading cards and stuff like that. So I did dive into the comics a little bit. Some of them, their short boxes were hard to get to in the store, with them kind of reorganizing and stuff like that. And I think they were taking in a collection at that time too. So they kind of sort stuff in that area of the store where the comics were, and that's okay. I was committed to all these action figures, so I didn't mind looking through the little bit that I did because I still did find some cool stuff. So one of the things that I found, and you may have seen this, I featured it on my newest show where I'm doing 2-cent reviews. Now, this past week, I featured this as one of my old finds of the week because I found this on Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, and it's this one. It's Hulk 209. Came out in 76. And what I liked about this was the cover is what drew me in. It was only $5. That wasn't too bad. And yeah, it's just a kind of a classic Hulk story. A lot of fun. If you want to see the review, check out my 2-cent review this past week. You can see me talking about this a little bit more. So that was a cool find in the comic bin. And then this one is one of those series that I'm trying to track down all those late runs. I think I am under 10 on this series. This, I think, may have dropped me down to 8 more left for the series because it's all those mid 90s ones of Darkhawk that were very, very low print runs. Now, this one is Darkhawk number 45. So, like I said, it's right towards the end of it. I actually flipped through this. I was considering using this for my 2-cent review, and I read it, and I really, I struggled. I almost didn't really get through it all the way, and I had a lot more fun with the Hulk. So, but yeah, there's a reason they went in lower print runs, and it was harder to find. So, but yeah, it was a cool find that try to finish up that collection, and also similar to Darkhawk was I found this copy of Ghost Rider 86. Another one, I only have a couple more of these that I'm trying to track down. I think I'm about the same amount, under 10 for the late Ghost Riders in the 90s. So yeah, found another one, 86. Super happy to find that one. Like I said, I didn't dig a whole lot. I figured with the action figures and then the couple comics I found, I was pretty good with that. So I ended up leaving it at the store with just that one bag. So, but that was my out and about haul at Geek Toy Hut. So let's go ahead and take a look at the other part of this video I wanted to cover, and that is the mail call that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of fast speed this, open these up right here, and then we'll go over these a little bit. Okay, guys, so there we go. Let's throw that over there out of the way, but I got 2 stacks from Cheddar Comics. Now, Cheddar Comics is a seller on IG, if you guys don't know. Instagram, he has claim sales every Thursday, and he also does like just general sales on He has a eBay store, and a lot of times he does like he makes posts and you can claim it that way, which is what one of these was. It was a set that I claimed and like just a post sale that he had. So let's go ahead and jump into the comics that I got in this mail call from Cheddar Comics. I'll put a link down below so you guys can check them out as well. He always adds these little doodles, he likes to call them. So on the other side, he always draws pictures. So this time we got a Batman picture. And I like that he includes trading cards. So we got, various cards from different sets. This one is Upper Deck Annual. I think it's a DC. They show like they have little stats of the characters. And then a kind of a classic Marvel one with Johnny Blaze here, the original Ghost Rider. And it has a little bit of stats on the back there too. So these are kind of cool to collect. I got a nice little box full of these that I've been getting from Chris at Cheddar Comics. Now, what did I get? Let's start with the set that I bought from a post. He had a bunch of different, sets to claim, or I think he had some books that were books that weren't claimed in his Thursday sale. So he had them up there for like a sale price, or maybe they were something that he just never had on the show. And it was something that was on eBay at one time. So he brought it in to see if anybody was interested in it. Well, he threw up a set that I was interested in, and it's a Batgirl set that I said I wasn't going to start till I finished all the Supergirls, but it's hard to pass on a good deal of a set when it gives you a big chunk of the series, right? So yes, this is Batgirl. This is part of the Rebirth. So I think this is volume 6. I could be wrong. If I am, I'll correct it. But yeah, so I only have a couple issues of this volume. I had the B cover for number 1, and then somewhere all the way up in the 20, maybe one in 30s and 40s, just oddball ones that I saw the cover and I thought it was cool, so I grabbed it. Well, I got a whole set here that says 1 through 18, I think it was. But we got number 1 here. Let's try and do this without the glare. I'll run through these pretty quick for you guys. And then we got number 2 here. I really like the covers of this Batgirl run too. This is when they kind of made her a little more younger looking, almost like a teenage time period for Barbara here. Number 5. Yeah, so I'm trying to do this without too much of a glare. There we go. I think that's the Penguin. They have storyline with the Penguin. Well, maybe not the Penguin. But yeah, nice big chunk to get me going on this series. I think this wasn't a very long series, so this helps a lot in the run. I really like that cover. I thought that was cool. Number 13. That way, when I do start to focus on this, I won't have to, like, what I like about buying sets like this is I don't have to fill holes. I don't have to buy the couple issues I see here and there. It gives me a nice head start on a run. So, and then there's number 18 there. She's tussling with Harley Quinn there. So that was a pretty cool set to get from Cheddar. It was a really good price too. And then the next one I got, this one, there's only 2 here. So I've been really trying to think of how I wanted to do this one. But once again, gives us a little card with a nice little doodle. And I get a one-eyed mutant pizza slice there. And then what cards did I get? So I got another one of the annuals. And then look at this old one. It's an old, I believe this is Topps, but it's an old Battlestar Galactica trading card. It's one of the ones that in the back, it's like a puzzle piece. So kind of really cool one to have, and a super old one. I don't know where he finds these old cards sometimes, but they're kind of cool to collect in a way. All right. So in this claim, this was from a Thursday claim sale. And this first book was one that's been on my list for a while. and it is Thundercats #1 by Star Comics. So this is not a first print though. This is a third print, so I didn't pay, high prices that first print goes for. Now this is, I think it's like a mid-grade, so it's not too bad looking. And I don't know what the difference is between first, second, third print. I tried looking it up after I got this, other than just when it was printed, because it was printed relatively close to the original. So, but like I said, it was a cheaper price tag than if I went after a first print. And for now, it's a placeholder, I guess you'd say. And I just wanted it so I could read it, type of thing, and not have to spend a lot of money. So I am happy with, spending what I did on a third print for Thundercats. And I think this was one of the few that I didn't have from the original run. There's still a couple I need to get, but it having #1 is a big part of the battle of going after some of these old runs. And then this last one here I got is actually a goal book for me this year. So I got #1 of Conan the Barbarian by Marvel. It was written by Roy Thomas. I've been putting this one off for a long time, looking for that right book, the book that looks good. And I really think this is a nice looking book for its age in the early 70s. I mean, it's nice and crisp. I'm trying to get it without the glare so you can see it. A lot of times I see them with dog ears, or the spines are really beat up. The spine's got, normal wear and tear, but it's not beat up. I've seen tape on these things. So this one, super excited to get this in the collection. This was, like I said, it was one of my yearly goal comics for this year. Now, getting this one now, I have one left to get. That come December, I will do an update towards probably end of December, either just before the new year or right after. I give a kind of like a recap of how I did on my list. Well, I'm telling you right now, I have one left to get, and it's Submariner #1. I did really good this year with my goal list. Got all the big books that I wanted to get, and I actually like to put in runs in there and stuff. I even worked on those pretty good. So, yeah, getting this one off the list was a nice feeling too, that I'm actually accomplishing my goal list this year. So, let's go ahead and I'll clean up a little bit here, and we'll close out on this out and about video. Well, there you go, guys. There is a catch up out and about video haul that I been meaning to get done, catch up a little bit of these, toy figures that I got. And of course, I can't do a video without some comics from my buddy Cheddar Comics. Thank you, Cheddar, for adding these things to my my collection. But guys, that's all I got for you today for this video. If you haven't done so yet, please consider giving me a subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought of this video. And please comment down below. What did you think about the comics that I picked up, or even the action figures that I picked up at the Geek Toy Hut? Let me know down below. And while you're at it, if you could head over to Instagram, follow me over there, like some posts. I'm doing Halloween posts right now since it's October. And in the future coming up, I'll probably be doing stuff in December for like Christmas covers. So that's kind of the thing I do on Instagram, if you want to check that out and have some fun with it. But like I said, that's all I got for you guys today. So guys, while you're out there, either out and about hunting for action figures and toys, or if you're questing for those big grail books to fill out your collections, happy questing, and we will talk to you next time.